Okay, last time I saw you, I assigned page 3 and page 4 for you to do for homework. And so right now I just want to go over those and see how you did with them. So starting with page 3, let's look at problem number 1. Number 1 wants to know what the best range is, the best description of the range. Remember, range are your y's, and since the y-axis runs up and down, I want to know how high I am and how low I am. So the highest y I have is a 3. That's the highest y I have. But I don't have a lowest y because the graph goes forever down, forever down. So the highest y I have is 3, and then it's everything smaller than that because it goes forever down. So your answer should be choice C. The range is all real numbers less than or equal to 3, which is sometimes written like that, y less than or equal to 3. Okay, number 2. I'm going to show you a couple ways of how to do this. So I'm assuming that you guys have already read these problems, so I'm just going to skip to the important stuff. I'm going to write an equation for unique. And what they do is they charge $17.75 per cap plus a design fee of $30. Okay, so I'm going to write an equation. And I'm going to use T for the total amount they charge. They charge $17.75 per cap. So I'm going to write that 17.75C plus this design fee of $30. That's going to happen just one time. That's our initial value. That's our y-intercept. Okay, now I'm going to write an equation for Logos. So Logos is a different company, and let's write down what they do. They charge $15.50 per cap plus a delivery fee of $48. So the total they charge is $15.50 per cap, so $15.50C, plus a delivery fee of $48. That delivery fee would happen only once, so it's our y-intercept, it's our initial value. No variable gets put behind that. So I'm going to show you how to solve this 2 different ways. It wants to know for what number of caps ordered would the cost be the same for both vendors. I want to know when does this cost equal this cost. So one way I could do it is I could take Unique's cost equation and set it equal to Logos cost equation. Because I want to know when these 2 companies would charge the same amount for a certain number of caps. When does Unique's cost equal that of Logos? It wants to know for what number of caps ordered would the cost be the same. Okay, so if I wanted to solve this equation by hand, remember when you have variables on opposite sides, you have to move one of the variables. So I'm going to move the 1550C, and I would do that by subtracting 1550C from both sides. $17.75C minus 15.50C is 2.25C. I'm going to bring down the plus 30, the equals. These are gone, and I bring down the 48. My next mission is to get this C by itself here. So first I'm going to move the positive 30, and I'm going to move the positive 30 by subtracting 30 from both sides. When I do that, I'm left with 2.25C equaling 48 minus 30, and 48 minus 30 makes 18. And if I want to get C by itself, I divide both sides by 2.25. And then all I have to do is put that in my calculator, and I get C equals 8. And C stands for the number of caps. So it wanted to know for what number of caps ordered would the cost be the same for both vendors. Well, I set Unique's cost equal to Logos cost, and I got an answer of 8. So if they order 8 caps, that's when the two companies would have the same cost. Okay, the other way I want to show you how to solve this is with our graphing calculator. So I'm going to go to my y equals, and I'm going to put these equations in, because they already are set up, y equals, except for instead of y it's t. So 17.75, and I'm going to use an x instead of c, plus 30. The other equation is 15.50x plus 48. And then I'm going to graph it and take a look. Okay, I can't see where the lines intersect, so I'm going to go up a little higher. So I'm going to go to my window, and I've talked about this once before, but I really haven't had you guys try it. Since I need to see up higher, then I'm going to change my y maximum, and I'm just going to change it to, I don't know, 400. Oops. And let's take a look. Let's see if I can see those lines cross now. Yes, they intersect right there. So if I want to make the calculator do it for me, this is when I go second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. Or second, calculate, because I want the calculator to calculate something for me. The reason number 5 is because I want to know where they intersect. And then enter, enter, enter. And you can see, when they both order 8 caps, both of the companies have a cost of $172. So that's another way to do it. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and go second plus 712 in my calculator and just clear all that off of there. I could do that a variety of ways, but that way's pretty nifty. All right, moving on. Number 3. It says, for the graph of y equals negative 3x minus 5, which of these statements is not a correct description? So I could do this a variety of ways. One of the easiest ways is to go to the y equals and type that equation in. And answer choice number 1, I see a bunch of ordered pairs that the equation contains. So I'm going to go to the table and see if it actually does. So do we see 0, negative 5? Yes, we do. Do we see negative 1, negative 2? Yes, we do. Do we see 2, 11? No. We see 2, negative 11. We don't see 2, positive 11. So I know that A is not a correct description. And of course, if I wasn't very confident, I could go on through the other answer choices and see. Okay, number 4. Once again, you should have already done this, so I'm not going to read all of this to you. The answer to this is B. If G was a 750, 750 minus 750 would be 0. 0 times 0.05 would be 0. And 0 plus 19.95 would be 19.95. So if it stores exactly 750 gigabytes, then the cost will be $19.95. If it stores, let's say, something over 750, let's say 751. 751 minus 750 is 1. 1 times 0.05 is 0.05. So you'd have 5 cents added on to your $19.95. So for everything beyond 750, each gigabyte is going to cost 5 cents for everyone beyond. Okay, number 5. This one's pretty simple. The answer you should have got was D. And let me go over it just to make sure you understand why. It wants to know which angle of incidence interval best represents when the solar cell's voltage output was at 3.5 volts. So I'm going to go to the voltage output, and I'm going to go to 3.5 volts, which is right here. I'm going to go over to the graph until I hit it. Once I hit it, I'm going to come down and see where I am. And here's 40. This is 50. So you can see that D is correct, that it's somewhere between 40 and 50 degrees. Okay, let's flip it over and see how you did on page 4. Page 4. This one, so easy. I'm going to show you how to do the problem just a little bit. If I want to know which graph best represents the data shown in the table, I'm going to look for these ordered pairs on the graph. So first, let me look for -3, -3. I'm going to go left 3 and down 3. Is this point on that line? No, so it can't be A. Let's look at B. If I go left 3 and down 3, is my graph going through that point? Yes. Okay, I'm going to skip the fraction. Let's look for 0, 0. Does the graph go through 0, 0? Yes, it does. Let's look at 3, -3. I go right 3, down 3. Does the graph go through that? Nope. B's out. Which one do you think it is between C and D? It is C. Bing, 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 bing. It has the point -3, -3. It contains 0, 0. It contains 3, -3. This one over here, when I check for the -3, -3, the graph does not go through that, so there's no way it can be D. So answer choice C is correct. Okay, number 2. I'm going to show you how to do this one a variety of ways. I'm looking for the equation of the line that has a y-intercept of 0, 4 and passes through the ordered point 6, 1. So first of all, if the y-intercept is 0, 4, which of these cannot be an answer? If the y-intercept is 0, 4, D cannot be the right answer because this has a y-intercept of a 6. And it says up here that the y-intercept is 4. So D's out. Okay, so I'm going to graph it, and I'm going to show you that way, and then I'll show you a different way with the calculator. So I'm going to plot my y-intercept at 0, 4. I'm going to plot my point 6, 1. And I'm going to draw the line that connects those 2 points. Remember, whenever you have a graph, if you want to find the slope of the graph, you count rise over run or fall over run. So if I want to know how I get from this point to this point, I ask myself, what do I fall? And what do I fall? I fall down 3, so that's a -3. And how much do I run? I run to the right 6. And what do you get if you reduce that slope? A -1/2. Which of these answer choices has a slope of -1/2? A. Bing, 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 bing. Are you sad we're not doing candy for answers today? Are you guys doing good? Now, another way I could do this. Since I know that all of these have the correct y-intercept, I could go to the y equals, and I could type the equations in. So I'm going to show you this first equation in there. I'm going to go to the table, and I'm going to see if the table has the ordered pair 6, 1. And sure enough, it has the ordered pair 6, 1. So that's another way to know that this is the answer. Okay, number 3. We have a scatter plot here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to draw a line of best fit, also called a trend line, where I try to draw a line where I have about as many points above the line as I do below it. And of course, everybody's trend line will look slightly different. So I just try to draw a line where I have about as many points above it as I do below it. And then the question wants to know, based on the graph of this data, which is the best estimate of the number of customers the restaurant can expect if it offers a $3.50 discount coupon? Okay, so down here it's talking about the value of the discount coupon, and it says it's a $3.50 discount coupon. So I'm going to come to where my discount coupon is $3.50. I'm going to come up until I hit my line of best fit, also called my trend line, and I'm going to come over and see about how many customers that would be, and it looks like answer choice D, 180. Okay, last one, number 4. It says a quadratic function is graphed below. When the function equals -7, which is the best estimate of the positive value of x? Okay, so they're asking me what is the best estimate for the positive value of x. They're asking me, what does x equal? I'm trying to figure out x. So if I'm trying to figure out x, what do you think it means when it says when the function equals -7? What's that guy? That must be the y. If they're asking me for x, this must be the y. So I'm going to go to where my y is a -7, and I'm going to drop over till I hit the graph, drop over till I hit the graph, and I'm going to come up and see what my x value is. There my x value is 4. I'm going to come up here. My x value here is -7, and they want to know which one's the positive value of x. So the positive value of x is 4. And there's that answer. Okay. So the next one I'm going to have you do, before I talk about that, put this in your folder. Put your page 3 and your page 4 in your folder. Remember, when the EOC is over, then I will collect your folders and I will make sure that everything's in there. Plus, I will also make sure that everything has been completed in your folder. So go ahead and put page 3 and page 4 in your folder. Next, you're going to get page 7 and page 8, and I'm going to have you work on those, and I'm going to have these due on Wednesday. So you have a few days to get page 7 and page 8 done. So start working on it. It shouldn't take you an extreme amount of time, but I do want page 7 and page 8 due on Wednesday. If you wonder what happened to page 5 and page 6, I don't know. They've disappeared. I can't find them anywhere. I think somebody accidentally took my stack by mistake, so I'm going to have to make a copy and get you guys some more. So anyway, so we're going to move on to page 7 and page 8, and these will be due on Wednesday. Okay. And next thing we're going to talk about is this page right here. I'm going to stop this video, and then we'll have another video for this.